Well, hey, and welcome to another episode of Beetle Dustino, coming at you again today with yet some more Paul McCartney colored vinyl reissues. All right, so yeah, I've been following the Paul McCartney. I've been showing all my vinyl collection of Paul McCartney so far, and we're getting down to the end of my Paul McCartney collection. There's still one more episode of that'll come out. So this is the 7th episode. There'll be 8 episodes altogether on my Paul McCartney vinyl. But yeah, I think I get a lot of comments that people only believe I got CDs. I do got vinyl. I love vinyl. I especially love colored vinyl, which is what these are, the colored vinyl reissues from Paul McCartney. I've been breaking them down into the waves. There were 3 waves that came out, one originally in 2017, then a 2018, and a 2019. And this will be the 2019 wave. They were all kind of themed. So the first one I feel like was themed on getting colored vinyl issues of the archive collection. The next one was kind of the colored vinyl reissues of the kind of rarer albums that have been out, Thrillington and those early 2000s issues there. And this one was definitely a live album themed, and that was even how they advertised it, I remember. And it does continue on, though, with the archive collection. And the first album, you'll see why. So, of course, that first wave I said was 8 albums, and it was 8 of the 9 archive collections that were out up to that point. This would be that 9th missing one, but it also is a live album, so it definitely made sense for them to put it into here. But that is Wings Over America. The colored vinyl reissue came out on July 12th of 2019. The original album was released on December 10th of 1976. And the archive came out on May 28th of 2013. And here is the colored vinyl reissue jacket. Just a triple album, but it's just a gatefold, not a triple gatefold. But there is the gatefold here. And my jacket, if you can see it, it is a little beat up, but I bought this for a really good price, knowing that it was a little beat up. It was still sealed, but just a little beat up. And yeah, I got it for a really good price. So, and kind of cool in this one too. I should probably show this. It's kind of like a pink inside there on both sides of the jacket. So kind of cool there. I think you can probably see that. Of course, we've been starting with the hype sticker, and this is limited edition red, green, blue vinyl. Of course, triple album, so 3 different colors of vinyl. Very cool on this one. And it did come with a poster. Double-sided poster at that. Hopefully you can see all that. And then we'll flip it over for the other side. I think that should be pretty squared in there. I apologize if I didn't get it all. And this one, I'm going to kind of just show, I was just showing the inner sleeves and then I would show the vinyl. This one, with it being 3 vinyls, I'm going to show the inner sleeves with the vinyl kind of together. So printed inner sleeves with this. So there is disc 1 with the 1. And that'll be on the red, translucent red colored vinyl. There we go. I think we got that right. I believe this is disc 2. There's the front and the back of the inner sleeve. And the green vinyl. There is side 3. Translucent again on that. Looks really cool. So red and green, we got Christmas, which we just got done with. But there we go again. And the last inner sleeve for disc 3. There we go. Side 5 on the blue vinyl. We have a blue translucent, a little lighter than the Tug of War one, but it's kind of that darker translucent like that one was. But you can see through this one a little easier. And up next in this collection, we got Choba BCCP, or the Russian album. The colored vinyl reissue, of course, July 12th of 2019. And the original album, when it came out in Russia, was, again, a Halloween album. Seems like Paul's got a lot of Halloween albums. So October 31st, 1981. And then it was released kind of worldwide a couple years later on October 29th of 1991. I still got this one in the shrink, so there's the hype sticker there. And then we'll show you the spine and the back. And this one did come with an insert. It almost looks like newspaper printing here. So it's real flimsy, but I suppose they're trying to make it probably as authentic to the original as possible there. And there we go. So Paul McCartney, the Russian album. And I'm going to show you on this one, the only one that came with kind of a polyline sleeve. So it's got this clear poly bag here. Of course, it says limited edition yellow vinyl. There is side 1 on that yellow vinyl, kind of a taxi cab yellow. I would call that New York taxi cab yellow, and cool red label on it. And then up next we got Paul is Live, and this one came out, the colored vinyl reissue, on July 12th of 2019, just like the other two so far. And the original issue was November 8th of 1993. And of course, there is no archive of this one, and probably will not be. And I think I forgot to say with Trouble BCCP, also, I don't ever see an archive coming out on that one. No archive yet, and no archive, I don't think, in the future. And again, at this point, I don't know if there's going to be any more archives in the future. But yeah, I think I showed the spine and the back. Of course, I'm recreating Abbey Road there. I think that's great. The gatefold here. And this one's kind of interesting. It's kind of like a cardboard inside. Usually they're kind of white. And this one's kind of a cardboard. A little different there. So next up we got the hype sticker, and it is baby blue and peachy white vinyl is what they describe these ones as. And then the inner sleeves. There's the one and the other. Here's disc 1 on the baby blue vinyl. Really looks cool. There's side 2. And then disc 3, or disc 2, I'm sorry, on the peachy white vinyl. There's side 3. That's why I was thinking 3. And there's side 4. And up next, kind of a unique one to this set, to this series, because this is the first time this ever got an issue. So kind of unique. But this is Amoeba Gig. Of course, there was a couple other versions of this. So technically, is this the first issue or not? This is the first full issue, though. So, of course, there was the Amoeba's Secret, the EP, which I believe just had 4 tracks. And there was the Live from Los Angeles that you could only get in the UK in the Daily Mail newspaper. This one, though, was released, the color vinyl reissue was released on July 7th of, or 17th of, or July 12th of 2019. And the original issue was also July 12th of 2019. And of course, no archive on this. So this was a really nice one to get, because you do get the full set, and kind of a unique also to the vinyl. There was a CD issue, of course, but the vinyl got a bonus track. It got the Coming Up, the sound check on the bonus track there. So kind of unique. Usually CDs are what get the bonus tracks, but this one got on the vinyl. And here is the hype sticker on this. It says it's on a clear and an amber vinyl, so 2 disc again, limited edition. Here is the inner sleeves. I believe this is disc 1s. There we go. Kind of going with that Amoeba's Secret packaging style with the crossword puzzle, or word find, I should say, word search, not crossword puzzle. Here is disc 1, side A, on that clear vinyl. Very cool, and this is a lot more clear than the McCartney 2 was. Still not quite as clear as the Now and Then 7-inch single on the clear one. Very cool. I love that clear. And what do they call this one? Something about amber something. I think it looks like a translucent gold, though. But there's side C and then side D. Really cool. This is a great album, too. If you haven't listened to it yet, this is a great live album. I absolutely love it. And really, that is the end of that wave. But there was kind of a bonus one that came out, and I'll show you that one. So it was only one that came out, one album, and it technically isn't Paul, but it kind of is. It's Linda McCartney and her album, Wide Prairie. And here it is. And this also came out in 2019 with the colored vinyl reissues. There you can see the hype sticker, and it's this milk/blue vinyl. And it looks just fantastic. But yeah, this the colored vinyl reissue on this one came out about a month later from what those last ones did in the third wave there. This was on August 2nd of 2019, and then the original release of this was on October 27th of 1998. And we've showed you the hype sticker. It does got this insert thing. It really folds out. Now, through the magic of editing, get it all unfolded. So kind of a little poster, and then the songs and the lyrics and such there. And then the printed inner sleeve. And the reason why I include this is I think that hype sticker, it really matches with the others. So I really feel like this is part of the colored vinyl reissues. And here is that milk/blue vinyl, and it looks so cool. I don't think you'll see it as good as I can see it here through the camera here. But there's side 1 and side 2 on it, and it looks just fantastic. Really cool. I suppose if you're a blue milk fan from Star Wars, there's kind of blue milk. So that doesn't really follow the live theme. That would actually probably be more the rare theme, because I bet you that vinyl is hard to find. As I've been kind of going through what I'd like to see if they do reissue or do new reissues of this with colored vinyl, because that was kind of a live wave. I think there's some pretty good live albums we could get released on this. I'd really like to see. And I'm going to start with Back in the US, originally released on November 11th of 2002. There was no vinyl on that one ever. So that would be a bonus right there for them doing this. Not only would you be reissuing the album, you'd be reissuing, or issuing for the first time, I should say, the vinyl version of it. And that would be so cool to get. And so happy to get that if they do it. The only trick is there was also Back in the World that came out on March 17th of 2003. Also no vinyl on that one. Now, I don't think they should do both of those issues. I think they should do Back in the US. So the differences between them was Back in the US had Vanilla Sky, Sea Moon, and Freedom. Those were all dropped off of Back in the World, and added to that was Calico Skies, Michelle, Let 'Em In, She's Leaving Home, and Hey Jude, which was a different show. It was also in the US, but a different show than the one that was on Back in the US. So kind of 5 different tracks on that one. So what would be kind of cool, maybe like a bonus disc, and just include those. So it's kind of Back in the US / World if they do the vinyl issue on it. I'd hate to see the US gets Back in the US and the rest of the world gets Back in the World. I'd want it all in one package. Just, I mean, we're only talking, taking off 3 songs and adding in 5. It would just be cool to have it all together. But there we go on that. And then the next one I'd like to see would be Good Evening New York City. Again, it was released on November 17th of 2009. And again, no vinyl. No vinyl has ever been reissued or issued of it. So this would be the first issuing of the vinyl and just a reissue of the album. Maybe don't include the DVD, Blu-ray, whatever it came with. If you do the CD, just do the CD. Of course, get the vinyl out there. I'm not even going to guess on the colors on this. I don't think I did on the last episode either on the colors. The first one, I kind of gave a rundown on what I'd like to see the colors be. Then the other one, because these are all going to be like double, triple albums, I don't think you should do more than a couple on this one. So the other one, you're sitting there thinking, well, you've pretty much named off every live album aside from Trippin' the Live Fantastic, which I think could get an archive, and Unplugged, the official bootleg, which I also think could get an archive. That's why I'm leaving those ones out. But those would be great if there is no archive. That would be a great option on those. The one that I'd like to see, kind of following what they did with the live albums there, because they did the 3 live albums, and show would be CCP. It was kind of stretching the terminology of live. It was live in the studio, but not live in front of an audience, I guess. So no really overdubs on that or anything. Because they included Amoeba Gig in there, which kind of had issues, but kind of not. Because, like I said, you had Amoeba's Secret and Live from Los Angeles. And both of those were pretty limited issues, I believe. And it would be cool. This would be a great way for them to usher in a live album that is out there, but not in a wide release, also like Amoeba's Secret and Live from Los Angeles. And that would be Wings Over Europe, finally getting a wide release. And its first time issue on vinyl too, because it never was issued on vinyl once again. So that would be kind of a cool wave on this, that you're getting your first time issued on vinyl, these 3 albums. 4, I guess we could kind of call it, but like I said, combine Back in the US and Back in the World. Wings Over Europe, of course, was never wide release, only the CD version And in the kind of the big box set, which would be the Wings 1971 to 1973 box set, which was a deluxe version of the Wildlife and Red Rose Speedway archive that came out on December 7th of 2018. And I think at this point, especially if you do, say, reissue those archives in 2024 this year, and those next wave in 2025, this will bring us to 2026. We're almost 10 years out from when that came out. So those people that shelled out the big money for that set probably aren't going to feel so upset that it's getting released in a wider issue, that, you know, oh, you bought it to get that unique kind of aspect to it. But, you know, I feel like that should be out there for the rest of us to enjoy too. So that's my thoughts on it there. And I'd really like to see that happen, because I really think that should get a wider release, and that would be a great way to usher it in. It was a great way to usher in Amoeba Gig. I think that would be the great way to usher in Wings Over Europe. But I'm going to get wrapping up because I feel like this one's getting a little long now too. And I feel like I really rambled on all these, but these are going to be some longer episodes, but hopefully fun. Hopefully it'll get people talking. Hopefully MPL and Universal Music will see this, and hopefully get reissuing some of these colored vinyl issues again. Okay, the series with the colored vinyl, limited edition, the regular black vinyl, and then the standard edition black vinyl, and then the CD. I'd love to see that. I would buy at least the colored vinyl and the CD on all of those. The only one of these that I've showed that I've got the standard vinyl is the Amoeba Gig, because at the time when that came out, I still wasn't sure about colored vinyl. I didn't collect these until recently, actually, and I really had fun chasing them down. I really had fun collecting them, and they aren't overly expensive even yet. Some of them are getting a little more pricey. The Amoeba Gig one was a little pricey, I believe, and the Wings Over America one was a little pricey, but most of them you can still find at a really good value. I think there's a lot of stuff out here that people would go nuts if they did back in the US, back in the world, and Good Evening New York City and Wings Over Europe. First time ever on vinyl on any of it. And those people that do got that big box set would be loving getting a vinyl version of that too. So I don't think they'd be too upset that everybody else is getting their issue of it finally without shelling out the big money, but because they'd be happy that they're getting the vinyl issue too. But anyways, I'm going to get totally wrapping up. And I do want to thank all my subscribers once again, and thanks to any new subscribers. And if you haven't subscribed yet, please do, and do hit the notification bell. Also, please give the video a like. If you have stuck around to this point, as I say, you must like it. So please give it a like, and do leave a comment. Let me know your thoughts on these colored vinyl reissues. Do you think I'm onto something here? Do you think it's something MPL and Universal Music should do again? I really do think so. At least this. If you're not going to give us an archive, at least give us this. But we'd also like an archive too, going with it, because you need to feed this again with new updates too. So, and we got tons of albums on that haven't been released yet. And there's many more that could be reissued on this too. Like I said in the last episode, I mentioned the Fireman albums, Twin Freaks. I think that would be a cool one. Also, some of the other compilations, like All the Best. I'd love to see that. Yeah, we're getting there though. Maybe even the classical albums. I'm not sure. I think you could have some fun with this and just continue it going. I think it's a fun collection. I absolutely love having those in my vinyl collection. I want to add to them. I feel like there's so many holes. Like I said, you don't got all the Wings albums. You don't got all the 80s albums. You don't got all the 90s albums. You don't got all the live albums. You don't got all the compilation albums. So I think there's so many holes that can still be filled on this, and I'd love to see it happen. So please, MPL and Universal Music, before I sign out, I'm going to say it one more time, please think about doing this again. And I've got you pretty good ideas set up on what to do on your next waves there on it. So anyways, I am going to get signing out. I am Beetle Dustino, signing out.